നൃത്തത്തിലും സാഹിത്യത്തിലും സാമൂഹ്യ പ്രവർത്തനത്തിലും ഒരുപോലെ സജീവമായ വ്യക്തി മല്ലിക സറാഭായ് തൻ്റെ രാഷ്ട്രീയ നിലപാടുകളെക്കുറിച്ചും നൃത്ത ജീവിതത്തെക്കുറിച്ചും മാതൃഭൂമി ന്യൂസുമായി സംസാരിക്കുകയാണ് മല്ലിക സറാഭായ്. വെൽക്കം ടു യു.
Thank you.
Actually, we are confusing about how will you introduce Mallika Sarabhai because you are a writer, a performer, a social activist, moreover a stage performer, and we want to know that what is actually Mallika Sarabhai is more passionate about, dancer, writer or activist?
You know, it's very funny. We live in a world where we try and divide everything into two things. You either love this or you hate this. Why do I need to have one passion? My passion is life.
Yeah.
And anything I do falls within that passion. But we need, I'm constantly being asked, what is your favorite film? What is your favorite color? I don't have one favorite film. This morning I might have one favorite film. This afternoon I might have another favorite film. And I think reducing everything to this binary is problematic.
Mallika Sarabhai is a classical dancer. But without compromising to the aesthetic value of art, you're performing it a lot of campus, open stages, something like that. What's the effort you take behind that performance?
I think, I believe in a world where human beings can be humane beings, where we are not ruled by hatred and violence. And I believe that if I can transmit that feeling to other people, then my life has been worth it. And with everything I do, I try and communicate that we have the choice of choosing between the good in us and the bad in us. And all of us have both. And we live today more than any other time in a world where everybody tries to bring out the horrible in us. Look at what is happening in this country. Look at the killings and the lynchings and the rapes, and it's as though the world has gone mad. India seems to have gone mad. And if through my work, and I go a lot to campuses, you are right, because I think young people are the ones one can hope will change.
Everything, there is a form of a force in the form of power is involved into our life, everyday life. Counterterrorism, someone called it counterterrorism, like that. Yeah, because you are the one who stand strongly against Modi or Gujarat issue at that time.
I don't stand against anybody.
No.
I stand for the Constitution of India. The Constitution of India guarantees equality and freedom of thought, freedom of speech, sovereignty for all people of all religions and all. I am not anti anything. I am for the Constitution. Please understand. I am constantly put as this person who is anti this, anti that. I am not anti. I am pro. But I am pro the Constitution of India, and I fight wherever I think the Constitution is being broken and that one community or one sex or one group is being targeted. And I will continue doing so because I believe in a free India. I believe in a sovereign nation. I mean, what happened with Junaid is a tragedy. That 200 people were standing there and all 200 say we saw nothing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is what we have become, and it's frightening. And we've got to stand up and say, enough. This is not who we are. This is not what we will become.
Artists, writers are sometimes they are forced to be silent and they are not address that issues happened around the India. Lots of issues are taking place in India, but they are being quiet sometimes.
We today live in a country where everybody is afraid because a crowd can turn into a lynching mob. If they don't lynch you physically, on the internet they will lynch you. They will call you names, they can terrorize you. Is this the country we want? A country where everybody is frightened? Where nobody can speak their mind? It's a terrible time. And yet everybody is afraid. People are going into self-censorship because we know that anything can happen and that nobody will say anything.
Some politicians, some leaders always talk about India's culture, and people who say something about against that, they are anti-national or they become terrorist. How will you address that issue continuously takes place in India.
What culture are you talking about? Is Nagaland not Indian culture? Is Kerala not Indian culture? Is only Brahminism Indian culture? I think there is a problem there. Because in fact, if you look at our mythology, if you look at Vedic times, beef was eaten. Beef was eaten even by the Brahmins. And there is documented evidence of this. This is not me saying, I'm a vegetarian, so I personally don't come into this argument. But is this the most important issue in India, or is the fact that there are millions of people without jobs more important? Is trying to stop people's food habits more important, or is trying to stop millions of internal migrants being homeless more important?
What's your concept about patriotism or anti-national going to Pakistan? How will you?
I think it's stupid, personally. I think if you say, am I a world citizen? Am I Indian? Am I Gujarati? Am I Malayali? Am I Tamil? Am I just me? These are all my identities. Why do I need to reduce it to one identity? If I'm in the midst of Indians from different states, I will probably say I'm quarter Tamil, quarter Malayali and half Gujarati. If I'm abroad, I will say I'm Indian. If I think about it, I'm a world citizen. So what does patriotism mean? I love my country, I will fight for it. But I will also say my country is wrong if it is wrong. And if there is something that the country stands for that I feel is wrong, I feel it is my right as a human being and as an Indian to say it is wrong.
It's a feeling of actually it's a feeling of insecurity or something like
It is, it's deep insecurity. It's deep, deep insecurity. And for an entire nation to be going towards insecurity, I don't need to beat my chest and say, hey, 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 I'm very powerful. Hello, if I'm powerful, I'm powerful. Why do I have to prove it to other people? If I feel strong, I feel strong. Why do I need to squash you to prove my strength? If I need to prove it to myself, it means I'm not convinced. And I think a lot of this is coming out of there, that we are insecure in ourselves, we are insecure as Indians, we are insecure in the worth of this country. And that's where all this, hey, 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 listen to me. Why? If you are a great nation, the world will notice. Why do I need to go on top of, why do I need to build statues that are 10 times higher than anything else? Why? The people to whom we are building statues were great people. Whether you build a statue that is 1 mile high and only a crow can see the top, you know, all of this comes from insecurity.
Mother, son and you.
Both my children.
What is the feeling about that?
It's wonderful.
Connecting with art into 3 generations.
It's quite wonderful. While Amma was still alive, we did a show about 10 years ago called 2 Lives in Dance and 2 More. And it was a semi-autobiographical show of Amma's and mine and how the children have come into the dance. And it was so special, all 4 of us dancing on stage together. It's really a memory I think all of us will cherish always. And there was, the interesting part is that there is no feeling of jealousy or envy or my trying to prove I'm better than Amma, or my trying to prove I'm better than my children, or they trying to prove they're better than me. It's a feeling of all of us being different bodies but the same soul. That we are actually one person. And it's, I mean, recently Vartha and I have been doing a lot of shows together. And in the middle of the show, we'll just turn and look at each other, and the sheer joy is very special.
So what was the energy behind that performance actually?
As I said, I love life. And I think each of us has a role to play in making life better for others, in showing them the light, in opening a window. And when one does that, I mean, yesterday I was telling my audience, there must have been 400 people there, many of them students. And I said that, you know, from amongst all of you, if I have touched 2 people, and those 2 people go out of this audience thinking differently, thinking about life differently, thinking about their own strengths differently, then I'm doing what I really love doing.
I'm very happy to talk with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.